I I had a revelation about Jonah. I always teach that we all have our own spiritual gifts. But what a lot of people don't understand is that our gifts are meant for certain people that we encounter. So our spiritual gifts are not meant to be given to everybody that we meet, because everybody that we meet is not equipped to give back unto us. It's a balance, you know. And so I always teach that spirit through our intuition, that gut feeling, or just that knowing. When we meet people who are in need, spirit will tell you, help that person. And you will know without shadow of doubt that spirit is calling you to help that person. Now there are other persons who you will encounter in spirit. You will get no feeling to help them at all. You won't want to help them, but because of the kindness in your heart, and oh, well, I got it, I can do it, I might as well. No, God has not called us to help every single person that we meet, because when we give, something has to come back to us. And so when God tells you to help a person with whatever your spiritual gifts are, or your natural abilities are, you help that person, and God will make sure that you will receive your payment for your work with that person. But some people are on a karmic walk. And so when we see somebody on a karmic walk, there may be lessons that that person needs to learn. And so a lot of people just don't want to learn the lesson. They just want the end result. But you have to walk through the lesson so that you can learn every intricate detail of it, which can be scary, and it is, but it's so rewarding, because once you get at the end of that lesson, you are way more wiser. But a lot of people don't want to do that work. And so, just like our lights shine, we don't see our lights, but people who may be in a karmic cycle for whatever reason might see that light, and they come into your orbit, and you see that they need help, and you're helping them, but spirit never told you to help them. And that's hard, because you like helping people, you like using your gifts, but some people are not meant for us to help, because they are in the midst of their lesson that God is trying to teach them. And once they walk through that lesson, however long or however short it takes, they will be wiser, like where you are. But they don't know that. Well, maybe they do know that, but they just want the end results. And so I think about Jonah and how God told Jonah. And we know that, the whole Bible is not the whole Bible, but some of the Bible is allegory. They are life lessons that we are supposed to learn. It is my personal belief that Jonah is one of those allegorical stories where God told Jonah to go to Nineveh. Go to Nineveh and prophesy to those people so that they can be saved. But Jonah was like, I don't want to go to Nineveh. I hate them. You see what I'm saying? I don't like them. I don't want to go to Nineveh. And so Jonah tried to run, and he ended up in the belly of a well. He ended up in a place where he could not get out of on his own, unless the Spirit of God touched the well and the well threw it up. But what if the whale liked how Jonah tasted and was like, yeah, this is my meal? Then Jonah would have lost his life that day. And so place yourself in that place where Jonah is. So I teach that if you have a spiritual gift, it is for certain people at certain times. And God will tell you when to share that gift and when not. And you have to pay attention to when not, because if not, then that person's karmic debt jumps on you, and then they walk off in the sunset with their end result. And now the punishment is on you. That was never meant to be your punishment. You probably already went through it, but now you have to take the storm because you took that person's storm who God did not tell you to go. God told you not to approach that person in that way, and you did. So, also another part about the Jonah story is when he did get to Nineveh and he did prophesy to the people, and they heard the word of God, and their hearts changed, and everything in Nineveh got better. Now, Jonah was mad about that. So he went and sat under a tree and lamented the work that he just helped a whole civilization from destruction. So which part of Jonah's story are you at in your life? I know for me, sometimes I can help somebody and I'd be like, oh, mother, they don't even deserve that. You see what I'm saying? So in Jonah's story, I'm under the tree lamenting that God is showing kindness to somebody that I consider an enemy, and that God used me to do it. You see? So what part of the story, when you're reading the Bible, this is how you got to kind of think things through a little differently. When you're reading the Bible, where are you in that story? Where are you in that story? So are you the part of Jonah that doesn't want to go? Are you the part of Jonah that offers yourself to, because he was going to go to a whole nother town and offer his gifts there. Are you going to offer your gifts where God did not call you to offer them? Or are you in the belly of the whale right now, thinking, how am I going to get out of this? God, please help me. Or are you sitting under the tree lamenting the beautiful consequences of the work that God had called you to do? So if you're going to read the Bible, and if you're going to live by it the way it was meant to be lived by. That's what it means. Those dry bones. Can these dry bones live again? Yes. Yes, they can, but you got to allow them to live, and you got to have a close connection with the Spirit of God. I don't know. I hope this helps.